Hello everyone, in this video session we are going to focus on chapter 6 mixed methods research, and first of all let's have a look at the outcomes of this chapter. At the end of this unit you will explain basic process of conducting mixed method research and explain the reasons for using mixed method research. Secondly, you will figure out the mixed method research design. Thirdly, you will be able to identify the data collection and analysis processes in mixed method research. And finally, you will analyze how to interpret the mixed method research data and write your own research report. First of all, let's focus on mixed method research, what it is and what it refers to. To be honest, mixed method research in the field of research is a pragmatic stance, is a pragmatic perspective in which you systematically combine or mixes ideas from both qualitative and quantitative research. In the literature, you can have different names for this pragmatic research. Mixed methods research, mixed method research, mixed methodology, multi-method research, methodological pluralism, or multiplism. You can have a lot of names, but the most popular one is mixed methods research, and it is defined as the research designs using qualitative and quantitative data collection and analysis techniques in either parallel or sequential phases. And this definition belongs to Tedley and Tashakori. And we have 8 main steps to conduct mixed method research. First of all, you should determine whether a mixed method design is appropriate for your study. Secondly, you have to decide on the rationale for using a mixed method design. Thirdly, you need to select a mixed method research design and mixed method sampling design, which we will learn a few minutes later, the types of the design and sampling strategies. In the fourth step, you collect your data, and in the fifth step, you analyze it. Then you try to validate your data in the sixth step, and on the seventh step, you interpret your data and focus on your findings. And finally, you write your own research report, which includes your literature review, your methodology, your findings, discussion, and conclusion. When we have a look at the mixed method research, as you remember, I mentioned that it's a pragmatic perspective, and this pragmatic perspective should have both strengths and weaknesses. When you look at the strengths, we can see that we benefit from the strengths of both quantitative and qualitative research. They have their own strengths, and in mixed method research, we can benefit from those strengths. In addition to that, we can increase the generalizability of the results, and we can use the strengths of a method to overcome the weakness of another one, and we can also answer more questions, more research questions with the help of both qualitative and quantitative data. However, on the other hand, as a weakness, as a researcher, you need to know about both quantitative and qualitative data to conduct a mixed method research study. Sometimes it can be a little bit expensive in terms of energy, and it can be time consuming, and it will be difficult to carry out both qualitative and quantitative research at the same time. And for all those reasons, there might be some weaknesses related to mixed method research. And at the very beginning of your mixed method research design, you need to decide on your research objectives. And while formulating your research objectives, you need to take into consideration these 5 criteria. For example, if you want to figure out an opinion on argument, then it's an exploration. If you want to focus on the description of a phenomenon, you need to clarify and define the previous experiences. Or if it's an explanation, you need to find out, develop, and broaden the phenomena. In prediction, you predict future events by means of some previous knowledge. And for influence, you need to discover the manipulation and influence and effect of a variable or construct. And before deciding on your mixed method design, you need to carefully take all these into consideration. And after that, you need to focus on the rationale of your mixed method research, because if you want to benefit from the combination of both qualitative and quantitative data, you need to have a rationale in your mind. What is that? Is it participant enrichment? You want to reach more participants? Or is it instrument fidelity? Or it is a treatment integrity or significance enhancement? Or you want to triangulate your data? You want to triangulate your qualitative data with the quantitative one? Or it's a kind of expansion or complementary of research types? What is your purpose to conduct mixed method research? This question and the rationale behind this question should be clearly defined and based on the principles you see on the screen. And while selecting the mixed method sampling design, as you remember, we have some steps to conduct mixed method design. You determine the goal of the study, you formulate your research question, you determine the research purpose, then your research question, you select the design, select the sampling design, and then you decide on your sampling strategy. And on the right, you can see 4 types of sampling strategy we benefit in mixed method research. The first one is identical sampling, and in identical sampling, we exactly choose the same participants that are involved in both qualitative and quantitative phases of the study. In parallel sampling, the sample for the qualitative and quantitative components of the study are different, but they are from the same population of interest. We also have nested sampling here, in which the sample members selected for one phase of the study represent a subset of those sample members selected for the previous phase of the research study. And finally, you can also benefit from the multi-level sampling. And before you start your data collection process, you should decide on one of those sampling strategies. And after your sampling strategy, you need to select your mixed research design. And before you mix the types of data, you need to decide on the status and the timeline, the time order of your data collection process. Because you mix 2 types of data, qualitative and quantitative, and you need to decide on which one you will collect first. Or will you collect them concurrently? Will you collect them sequentially? Which one will be more dominant, qualitative or quantitative? And in the figure here, you can see we have some different choices. For example, if both of them, qual and quant, are written in capital letters, that means both of them are dominant, they have equal status. And if it's a plus between them, that means they will be conducted concurrently. But when you look at the sequential part, here we can have a lot of choices. You can first collect qualitative or quantitative data. Then after that, you can collect the other type. And the type of the letters in qual and quant refers to the dominancy of these 2 different data sets. And based on this dominancy and concurrency or sequential way, we decide on our research designs. In mixed method, we have 6 different research designs. The first one is convergent design, in which the data, both data, qualitative and quantitative, they are collected concurrently. They are both dominant, they have equal status in your research, and you combine the findings of these 2 data sets together. In the second one, explanatory research design, the data collection process is sequential. First of all, you collect the quantitative data, then you collect qualitative data to enrich your quantitative findings. In number 3, in exploratory research design, again, the timeline is sequential, but this time you first collect qualitative data and it's more dominant. Then you collect quantitative data to generalize the findings of qualitative data. These three, convergent, explanatory, and exploratory designs, are really popular in mixed method research design. And in number 4, which is called is embedded design, you can collect your data sequentially or concurrently, and a qualitative research can be conducted before, during, or after the major quantitative research, or vice versa. It doesn't matter, okay? And you try to, if you want to integrate some more data collection process in the whole research process, if you want to embed some more data collection types, you can benefit from embedded design. And number 5 is the transformative design, in which a theoretical framework guides the method's decisions. And in number 6, multi-phase design, you combine sequential or concurrent qualitative and quantitative research. I mean, they are more advanced level of research designs, and they are usually used for program evaluation. And as I mentioned before, the first 3, convergent, explanatory, and exploratory, are more popular in mixed method design. And during the research implementation stage, you collect quantitative and or qualitative data, and you analyze the qualitative and quantitative data using the analysis techniques specific to these data sets. You combine them, you present the results together, or maybe you first analyze the qualitative data, present the findings, and then based on those findings, you collect your quantitative data and present them. I mean, the logic, the rationale behind these analysis and presentation part is to merge, connect, or embed these 2 data types together, okay, so that you can present a more holistic perspective. And of course, just like in other research types, validating and legitimatizing the data sets are also important in mixed method research findings. And while writing your mixed method research report, do not forget to balance between quantitative and qualitative research paradigms. You also need to forecast the reader's qualitative and quantitative perspective, and you need to summarize all these big data sets in single format. This is very important, and you should also be ready for the editors or referees who adopt just one type of research. And in this video session, we focused on the fundamentals of mixed method research. We also analyzed the sampling process in mixed method research. We focused on the designs in mixed method research studies, and finally we touched upon how to report a mixed method research study.